Hey YouTube, we are back with some more Carnival cruising tips. These are specific to the check-in process, that time in between check-in to basically the day you start heading to your cruise. I'm Alvin.
And I'm Brandon.
And these are our cruising tips for the check-in process. So getting into our first tip, we have print your documentation. Now, me and Brandon know first and foremost what it is to basically be excited when you wake up and it is cruise day. It's a very exciting thing. You've been waiting for it, sometimes for a year, sometimes longer for cruise day. So you want to make sure you print your documentation because it will suck if you waited that long, got so excited, and you get to the cruise terminal
and don't have your documents.
And you can't get on the ship because you don't have your proper documentation. So those documents are your boarding pass, your passport. If you don't have a passport, you can use, in most cases, your original birth certificate. It has to be the original, your birth certificate, and a form of ID. So passport or birth certificate and ID. If you're vaccinated, always carry your vaccination card just in case. You never know. Always keep it. Well, we always keep it with our passport, and we like to take COVID tests prior to getting on the ship. Even though now it's not required by the cruise lines at this current day of recording, it's not required by the cruise lines in most cases. But even then, we like to take it just because we like to be kind to our neighbors, and we just don't want to go on a cruise if we're sick.
Right.
We want to make sure that we have a good time.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yes. So. Even if you use the Verify process and you upload all your documents, bring those documents, because if the picture is blurry on their end, it may look fine on your end, but if it's blurry,
not easy to see, hard to read.
Yeah, anything like that, they will ask for the physical copy at the terminal.
Yeah.
So always bring those pieces of information. Oh, during the check-in process, when you get your boarding pass, get your bag tags.
Yes.
Print those out if you're going to check your bags at the terminal.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next tip is cash versus credit or debit cards. Cash is like a debit card, so once you use it, it's gone.
Done.
Credit cards is they have pre-authorizations on your credit cards depending on the credit card provider. Also, be cautious on what you spend when using a credit or debit card.
Yes. In most cases, with the credit or debit card, they will either, like Brandon said, hold a certain amount, or I've even heard that they do sometimes a bunch of pre-authorizations throughout the day, and they'll charge whenever. But we don't like to use credit cards. That's why we don't have much history on how that works. We like to bring cash. We plan out our vacations financially to where we make sure we have what we need when we use credit cards as a backup. Right. So just in case we have emergencies. But we like to have cash on hand, so when we get on the ship, we can already set aside, this is our port money for this port, this is our port money for this port, and this is what we're going to use on the ship. And then when we get to the terminal, we go ahead and set up that cash account.
Right.
And if you need to add more money to that account, you can add more money to the account via ATM machines throughout the ship.
Correct, yes. The ship does have ATM machines where you can go and withdraw money, and then you can add it on to your Sail and Sign card. Or if you need to use it once you get to the port, then you could do that as well.
Yeah. One thing I am thinking about is what happens when you have a balance at the end of your cruise and you can't cover it. That's something I've always thought about. I've heard rumors about it saying that either you'll have to sign an IOU. Well, first thing I know is they won't let you off the ship. You won't get off the ship if you have a balance. You have to settle that balance before you get off the ship. But I've heard you have to sign an IOU, and that you can't cruise with Carnival until that IOU is paid. I've heard that some people had to sit and get a Zelle or a Cash App from a family or friend to pay off that balance. I don't know exactly what happens. If you do, or if you heard any other rumors pertaining to that, leave it in the comments below, because I am eager to find out. I just don't want to be in that situation. So we bring cash, and when the bartender or somebody say, bro, you ain't got it, then bro, I ain't got it. So yeah. Next tip is to indicate special occasions. So these are mainly for birthdays and anniversaries. You want to indicate with Carnival through the check-in process. You can do it before check-in, but go to your cruise planner, I want to say online, on the Carnival website, and you can indicate if it's a birthday or anniversary that you're going to be going for. Right. And basically they'll give you free gifts. They always left for, we've done your birthday cruise, I've done a birthday cruise. They'll leave like a little card in your room saying happy birthday, and it usually comes with like something like, they told me to go to the photos, the Pixels photo gallery, and they gave me a free gift. Now I didn't know what it was until I got there, but hey, this is a photo folio, and it holds up to 2 8x10s. Now don't get on me, because this is still wrapped in plastics, which means I did not use it yet, or have I even opened it, but at some point this will be used. But yeah, this is a neat gift. Yeah. Maybe it was to promote me buying some photos on the ship. Probably. But hey, at one point I will buy some photos at a certain time, and we will get this filled up and maybe do something with it. But yeah, you can get a free gift. It won't always be this, because I know another time we went, it was something totally different. Right. But yeah, always indicate if it's a birthday or anniversary. You can definitely get a free gift. And I want to say they also give you a little discount for the spa. Brandon got that for his birthday. Right.
Yeah, I got a $50 credit on something to be used in the spa.
Yeah, so that was cool. And we added that to some stuff that I won at the spa tour. Yeah, we went to the spa tour. They also had a raffle, and I won, was it $200, $250?
$150.
Just kidding. It was $150 that we won by going to the spa tour, and he added that with his birthday gift to total $200. And I want to say he went and got a massage. Yes. And I didn't. So moving on to the next tip.
Also with this, if you're traveling with family and friends and it's someone's birthday or anniversary, you can set up decorations for their room to surprise them. If it's a birthday, you can also have a birthday cake in the room once they get there.
That happened to me on my birthday cruise. So if you haven't seen the Carnival Sunrise vlogs, go see those vlogs. That's the first vlog series on the channel, and I want to say that that was a really good time. But yes, I was totally surprised. They had birthday decorations already set up in the room. They had a cake for me. That was an experience. But yeah, always indicate if it's a birthday. You will get treated special. Even in the main dining room, let them know if it's your birthday or anniversary. Trust me, they have special songs to sing to you. So yes. Moving on to the next tip.
All right, next tip is the Carnival Hub App. This can be downloaded before you get on the ship, before you head to your port. We know a lot of you like to get away from technology, but this app will help you while you're on the ship. As far as ordering room service, ordering from a specialty dining room and you want to pick it up later, booking excursions, also making reservations in the dining room, and also you can connect with your family and friends on the ship and message them for a small fee.
Yeah, we always use the chat feature on the Carnival Hub app, because when me and Brandon cruise together, usually the first 2 or 3 days, Yeah. We are together. We go explore the ship, stuff like that. We spend that time with each other. After that, each is to his own. Yeah. I like to do shows. Brandon like to go sun soak. So we split up, and then when it's time for like dinner and stuff like that, or things that we want to do together, we go ahead and hit up that chat feature on the app. I want to say it's like $5, and you can go ahead and chat people up. If you meet people on the cruise, like Brandon and I both done solo cruises, you meet other people that's not in the actual traveling party that you went with, you can also chat with them through the app. Just search their name and you can chat with them through the app, as long as they have the chat feature as well. And like I said, I want to say it's like $5.
Right.
Yeah. All right. The next tip we have for you guys for that check-in process is to choose a later boarding time. Now, again, me and Brandon know the excitement of waking up that day and wanting to jump right on the ship. But we recommend choosing a later boarding time. Keep in mind, when you're going to get on the ship, there's people getting off the ship, so there is traffic, especially around major cruise ports like Miami. Orlando is not that bad, but Miami is definitely a hit or miss when it comes to traffic. Make sure you choose a later boarding time, because you have people leaving the cruise terminals, you have people getting to the cruise terminals. So make sure you get a later boarding time that'll help with traffic. That'll also create less traffic in the terminal.
Yeah, so choosing a later boarding time will get you through security, get your documents checked, and get you on board faster, because mostly everyone has gone through already. And then that later boarding time to get the stragglers.
Yeah. So also keep in mind, on Carnival, your rooms are not ready until typically 1:30. So if you choose a earlier boarding time, you're sitting there holding your bags if you didn't check them. Also, if you didn't get faster to the fun, your room won't be ready typically when you first get on the ship, because they are still flipping the ship from the people that's getting off the ship. So choose a later boarding time. I usually try to get on around like noon, because then by the time 12 come around and I get on the ship, I maybe have 30 minutes and then the rooms will be ready. Sometimes the doors will open to get to your room a little bit earlier. But that way we won't make the mistake that we made on our first cruise. Yeah. We was excited. We got on the ship and we sat around the Lido deck and the buffet. And we was just sitting there holding our bags. We wasn't the only ones. But yeah, we definitely made that mistake. But we fixed it and corrected it for our later cruises.
Yep. We found what works for us. So
yes,
we now choose a later boarding time.
Yes. We still haven't got faster to the fun, but one day we'll get faster to the fun. Right. One day.
All right. Our next tip will be a 12-pack of cans or cartons. This will help you save up to $30 to $40 per person. It has to be unopened. The can can't be open. The carton can't be opened. It has to be unopened, sealed. You cannot bring any bottles. Carnival is one of the fewer cruise lines out there that does allow you to bring your own beverages on board.
Yes.
Soda and juice on board can range from anywhere between $2 to $4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So each person can bring this 12-pack on. And if you're 21 and up, you are allowed to bring at least one bottle of wine. Well, yeah, your one bottle of wine, or the 750 milliliters.
Yep, absolutely. I take advantage of this all the time. We are not wine drinkers, but we like to bring our 12-pack of cans, because Brandon would like to drink something. I like to drink my stuff. He is a Mountain Dew fan.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so we'll bring our 12-pack. But I also, even when I had to travel to get to the Valor, I had to go to New Orleans. But I just got it in the city because I couldn't fly with it, obviously. So we got there a day before, like we told you in the previous video. Mm-hmm. And that day I went to go get my 12-pack. And then we got on and I had a little drinky drink in the room. All right, our next tip is to order your bottled water. Now, keep in mind, in the last video, we told you to pre-order everything that you will use. So we recommend buying that beforehand, because it will be a little bit more expensive once you get on the ship. But again, Brandon said you can't bring bottles. So if you want water and you don't like to drink from the tap, order your bottled water and have it already sitting in the room when you get there.
Yeah.
You always want to stay hydrated, so you don't want to stick to just straight up alcohol your entire cruise. You need something that you can relax on and rehydrate your body, get you ready for the next day, especially when you're getting off the ship for port days. You want to bring that water because it is typically hot. And I know most people, for the first time cruise, they're going straight to the Bahamas, straight on a Caribbean cruise. And I get it. It's one of those cheap cruises.
A lot of people.
But it's always hot.
When you're having fun, a lot of people always forget to drink water.
Yes.
So, always stay hydrated. Get you some water. If you don't want to bring soda or juice on board, there are several grocery stores that do sell 12-pack of canned water. So that is an idea to bring with you if you don't want to bring soda, if you don't want to bring your juice. Go buy some canned water. You can bring a 12-pack of that on board.
Absolutely. Make sure you stay hydrated. That is number one. Our next tip is to basically connect with your cell phone provider. Cell phone coverage is not allowed on some carriers in Canada and Mexico, but most of the major carriers in the U.S. or U.S.-based carriers include Canada and Mexico in your cell phone plan. You may not know about it because you never use it because we in the States.
Okay.
But if you're going on a cruise, just make sure your provider knows where you're going. Sometimes you can buy an international plan, even if it's not Canada or Mexico, that'll only charge you a couple bucks per day based on what you need. So I know last time, it wasn't on a cruise, but when I went to Canada, I didn't have Canada. It was years ago. But I bought a texting plan, so at least I can text while I was in Canada, and that cost me literally like $3 a day, instead of me just connecting to the towers and then getting charged for international rates.
Good.
So yeah, make sure you contact your cell phone provider ahead of time. You won't be able to use that coverage while you're at sea because in the middle of the ocean there is no cell phone coverage. So you'll have to rely on a Wi-Fi package for that. But while you're in port, if you want to connect to back home, connect to some family and friends, update them on what's going on, stuff like that, make sure you update your cell phone provider and make sure you are covered because you don't want those international and roaming fees. You don't want that.
Right.
All right, so our next tip is going to be things to pack, and I feel like we should do a video. We'll do a video about this later, but we wanted to stick out a couple things that you might not think of or things that may be things that you didn't think of. So one of those things is a corkscrew. Now, if you're bringing that bottle of wine, make sure you bring a corkscrew. Carnival will happily uncork your bottle of wine, but they will happily charge you, I want to say, a $5 or $6 fee. So bring a corkscrew. This is a small one. This one we prefer to bring. Like I said, we don't really bring wine, but if we know somebody in our traveling party that is bringing wine, we bring this just because it's always a good backup to have. I don't know if you can travel with this on a plane though. So that's something you will have to check with your, I guess, the airline.
Yeah. Also, you can go online to tsa.gov and search in the section that says, what can I bring? It will allow you to search different items and tell you whether or not you can put it in your check bag or your carry-on. It will give you a yes or no, or tell you what size you can bring or how big it can be.
Oh.
But yes, it's very informational and it will tell you what you can bring.
I did not know that, so that's a tip for me. The next thing you want to bring is going to be a lanyard. This is a very small item, but I think this is one of my most important things that I make sure I have, and sometimes I even bring a backup just in case. But you will get a sail and sign card. That's what Carnival calls their card. But basically, you'll get these. This is everything you need on the cruise. So your first cruise is going to be blue. So if you haven't cruised on Carnival, that first trip you take, you're going to get a blue card. Then any cruise after that, your second cruise up to like 24 days, I want to say, you'll have a red card, and then you'll move up to gold, platinum, diamond. But this lanyard is to basically connect to this card. They'll give you a card. It has a hole punched in it already. Just bring your lanyard. It makes it bigger so you don't lose this card. Like I said, this is everything. This is what you use as a card. This is what you use to get back on the ship on port days. If you want to play in a casino, this is what you'll use. This is your room key, buy drinks, whatever. This is it. So use that, connect this, keep it on your neck, keep it with you, put it in your pocket. It just makes this card so much bigger to where it's less likely to lose it.
Right. You don't want to lose it, and
yes.
You don't want anyone buying drinks on you.
Yes. Another thing you want to bring is a power strip. This is a small version, but you can bring bigger power strips to where you can use more outlets. It's not like a hotel room on a cruise ship. It's basically like one or two outlets in the room. So make sure you bring a power strip, so that way you can spread the electricity and charging power to everybody in your traveling party. Just make sure it has no surge protection. The surge protection will short out the ship electricity, so they will confiscate that. They look for these all the time. So make sure you bring it, but it doesn't have surge protection. That's a very big one.
Yep, and also on some ships there are European outlets. So look for an adapter, because that you can turn that European plug into a regular plug.
Absolutely.
And give yourself an extra outlet.
So Brandon, for our last tip, what do you think people should not bring?
So items to not bring on board with you include irons, candles, weapons, illegal substances, and liquor.
Absolutely.
You don't want to bring these items with you. They will be confiscated and taken away from you.
Yeah.
So, and you probably won't get them back.
Yeah. Anything like you said, a candle, anything with an open flame, anything with any type of flame is going to be taken. The worst thing to have on the cruise ship is a fire. So anything with a flame is going to be gone. Space heaters.
That does not include personal lighters.
Yeah, personal lighters is okay. Space heaters, candles, wax burners, stuff like that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right.
So that is it that we have. Those are our tips we give to you for the check-in process. That 2-week period between check-in and getting on the ship. If you have any comments below that you like, that you use for your person, put it in the comments below. If you think that we should use a tip, or you got a tip for us, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, leave a comment, and subscribe to the video. That is it. Check out our next video where we'll be giving you tips for onboard while you're on the ship.
Right.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.